Key West, Florida, with 17 career world records, including the legendary Streets 112. Started ring in 2008, Ryan Lockwood. To his left, from Davis, California, starting running the game in 2012, with a mustached man with 14 career world records, Wotus Rekla. To his left, one of the most decorated GoldenEye players in all of history, running the game since 2002, with 202 career world records, 97 untieds, from small town Minnesota, Brian the Big Boss Man Bosshart. And on the right of your screen, from Perth, Australia, with 33 career records and 2 untieds, running the game since 2005, the Thunder from Down Under, Luke Scholars. We've always wanted to do this sort of race. We've been running this game since 1997. That's when our community started, and really it's all led up to this here in 2015 in front of you all. I hope you enjoy. Runners, get ready for a countdown, and let's get this started.
3, 2, 1, go!
Commentating with me here is Jimbo. Jimbo, do you want to get into any details of various things you're going to see throughout the run?
Sure. On Dam, we started out the little bit of randomness. I can start with the level as a bad cinema. Everybody escaped that. Everybody's on the same playing field right now. We're approaching a set of double doors at the moment, which can differ somewhat greatly between the runs. It can be either very fast or very slow, and slow down the pace of some of the runners. Looks like everybody got through at just about the same time. So,
what can you tell us about why they're looking down, Jimbo?
The reason they're looking down is because the game, if you look down to render less frames for the N64, it doesn't slow down the hardware quite as much, and it makes Bond a lot easier to handle. And in RTA runs like this, it can speed up the whole level because the players are able to more smoothly control Bond.
It looks like Wotus had a little bit of trouble with the lock shot there. I think Lockwood might be in the lead. This level's pretty straightforward. You're not going to lose more than 1 or 2 seconds. It looks like actually Luke quick by about 1 second over Lockwood, and Boss not far behind, and Wotus not far behind that. Facilities the next level. It is one of the trickier levels in a speed run. The nightmare is having Trevelyan at the end of the level die. You have to blow up these set of 10 tanks here with your mines, and Trevelyan dying will cost you, make you forced to restart the entire level, costing about 70 seconds. So you're going to see them be pretty cautious with that as they make their way through the facility.
And as they go through, they're going to be doing tactics to lure guards and get next doors open for them to not slow them down quite so much. There are damage boosts in GoldenEye, and in this game, we'll lay down mines on the ground, detonate them behind Bond, and that will propel them forward a bit for a small damage boost.
Wotus with a really clean facility is actually taking the lead now here. Looks like everyone else is pretty far even.
Everybody's in the tank room at the same time.
Yep. And Wotus nails it.
Place is close.
It looks like everyone's succeeded through facility.
And this is where the damage boosts are going to come into play. There's going to be a lot of grenade tossing to try to get explosions to happen behind Bond, and thus propel them forward quite a bit.
Yeah, you're going to wonder why they're throwing grenades at the ground. Those grenades are propelling themselves forward. Each damage boost saves roughly 0.3 seconds. So in this level, you'll save about a second by throwing grenades at the ground, having them boost you forward. Wotus still in the lead. Looks by about
Boss
3
second.
seconds over Boss.
Luke
Lockwood and
third.
Luke pretty close.
Yeah. Next level is extremely straightforward. Just run to one satellite area, deactivate a console, and then run to the end where there are 4 locks on a hatch. And the objective is to take those locks out as quickly as possible. So this is a little bit of downtime.
One thing you're going to notice at the end of this level is what we call a warp. Anytime you get to a door or a ladder, you can press A to switch weapons or just cause lag any other way. And in the instance of a ladder, you will actually jump up the ladder, and on this level it saves about 2 seconds. You'll see oftentimes when a door is very slowly open, they'll be squeezing through a crack, and that again is just a way to push through the level as quickly as possible. Wout is still making good ground. He's into the building first, and Boss right behind, and Luke and Lockwood very close.
And when they get up to the main hatchway here to take out the 4 locks, we try to shoot for about 24 bullets total to take all 4 of these out.
Otis no warp there. Boss nails it. Luke nails it. Lockwood misses. Otis still up, but Luke has closed the gap, and so is Boss.
Something we don't practice in ILs too much is speed in the pause menu, but it's critical here in RTA runs because every second counts. So you have to know exactly where every single item is in your inventory when you pause for it. Items like the camera you can't access normally by cycling through weapons with A, so you have to start and get everything out. In this level, there's 2 pauses. Wotis is with a very clean bunker 1.
Yep. A little bit of a mishap at the door there. Luke's pretty close. And Silo is really a finicky level. You're going to notice a lot in Silo. The runners are going to be shooting sort of randomly. It'll appear, but what you're doing is you're luring guards' attention. And those guards are going to come open doors for you. If you look on Boss's screen now, you'll see this door at the top of this room. A guard will come to open it right about now. And throughout this level, you want to be shooting to get guards to open the doors. It is touchy because if you're too slow and you alert them too early, they'll open a door before they're rendered in the room, and the door will actually not open despite the guard being lured to your location.
You'll see the runners also go out of their way somewhat to take out guards and reduce the overall lag in the level, because once you progress further and further in, the frame rate drops dramatically.
All these players, very experienced Silo players. It is one of the levels that most of the skilled players really enjoy playing. Just you want to cut through the guards almost like cutting through butter with a hot knife. Just use your gun like a knife.
Lockwood with a little trouble there.
It looks like Luke may have taken the lead here. He's the first to pause for the camera. Oh yeah, Wotis is actually still ahead.
Wotis at the end of Silo.
On Frigate Agent, you're required to save 2 hostages, and they need to escape from a boat before you can exit the level. And one of the problems on Frigate is there's a little bit of randomness because they can each choose from one of 7 unloading locations. And you know, the fastest 2 or 3 unloading locations are far quicker than the slower ones. So this level could vary. Generally, the way we do it, it shouldn't vary more between 32 and 44 seconds on this level, but there is still time to be won or lost here. Wotis had shot a lot. That's one of the things you want to avoid on Frigate. You want to be very quiet so guards don't get in your way and they give a clean path for the hostages to escape. You're going to see everyone waiting for Objective A complete to come up on their screen. Luke's got it first. He's now up.
Wotis with an
Lockwood
exponentially
Lockwood.
longer wait than normal.
Wotis is really having to pay for these extra shots in the Frigate. He went from first to last on that level with those extra shots. Those guards getting in the way of the hostages.
105.
There's still plenty of run left, but that hurts.
There's not much to this level. Run to the satellite. This level was played previously. This is just a darker setting. Throw a mine up at a ceiling, blow it up, run to the end.
Yeah, there's actually a set of computers inside the building you saw earlier on Surface 1, and you need to blow those up. We have an extra remote mine, which is not needed on the agent difficulty, so we're going to just use that to blow it up. If you miss, though, you have to do the sort of intended route, which is finding one of those cabins and killing a guard and getting a key card. You know, you take it for granted, but you can miss this throw, and that'll cost 30 seconds. Luke's lead looks to be close to 10 seconds here. Bunker 2 is a pretty clean level. Not much, you know, varying on Bunker 2. Usually they get around 30 seconds, so guys will have to make up some time in statue to catch him. You see once again the use of shooting a lot of times to lure guards, and on Luke's screen here, he lured a guard with the key card, which you need to exit the level. You'll see all the Forerunners go ahead and do that. And again, an instance of a little warp here at the end of the level. All right, on Statue. Statue is one of the more interesting levels in the game. It's the second longest level in the game, and it's a lot of clean strafing, which is very skill-based. You're going to see us approach Valentin and do sort of a little dance with Valentin. And the reason is you can either meet Valentin, you have to talk to him for a certain amount of time, and there's nothing you can do to skip that speech. But what you can do is you can pull him around and progress further into the level, like you're about to see Luke do here.
Reduces the amount of distance from one objective to the other.
Yeah, you're sort of in dead time, and by doing this strategy, it's the only way Valentin can seek you out and follow you, and it saves it's 6 seconds all in all, so that's why we do that. Now, coming up on the end of the level, again, the second big instance of randomness in this game is that when a helicopter blows up at the end of the level, a flight recorder is spawned, and the flight recorder can fly into any of 9 locations throughout the first half of the map. And obviously, the first couple locations are closer than the further ones. And the difference time-wise can be about 15 to 20 seconds even, compared to the worst flight recorder spawn to the best one. So everyone is going to have their technique and have their superstition how to spawn a good flight recorder, but really there's nothing we can do.
And everyone within 10 seconds of each other.
Yeah, Woda's doing well work to catch up here.
You'll be able to see a timer on the bottom of the screen after the meeting with Giannis is over, and if you compare decimal points on there and the other integers, you'll be able to see the difference between the players.
Yeah, so Luke appears to be about 15 seconds up on Lockwood. Wotus is actually in third place now, and Boss not too far behind. Everyone's within 20 seconds here. Luke is approaching the helicopter. If you notice at this gate here on the door, it actually says BJ on it. We're still not sure why. Luke is going to come down and try to find the flight recorder, as is everyone, going to follow suit very soon.
After many thousands of hours and many years of speedrunning the game, we still don't know how to affect the FR.
Luke gets a very fair spawn there. That was very clean. He'll be on his way to archives here. You can see these 3 are within 5 seconds. If Luke stumbles even slightly. Lockwood got the best flight recorder there, and Wotus, and Boss with a good one too.
Nice. Archives are very short but very technical level. This first room goes by so fast.
But
it's harder than you think.
And that missed door is about a 2 seconds loss, and these guys will be looking to make up on that.
Wow.
Lockwood aces the first room. Lockwood made up some distance on Luke.
Yeah, and so did Wotus, and now they're approaching Streets. Streets is a long 1-minute strafing level. You'll see very good use of the looks down strategy here. Of course, many of you might know Streets from Lockwood's video about a year ago, Streets 112, where he achieved the single level world record on this stage. I recommend checking that out in some downtime if you haven't seen that. It's definitely worth the watch. Again, you'll see the timers all on this level, so this gives us a perfect indication of how far apart everyone is. Luke obviously in first, and Lockwood with 7 behind, and Wotus 1 from that, and Boss bringing up the rear, only still about 16 seconds behind from Luke. There's still plenty of time to make that up.
And there's some randomness as to what guards are assigned where. There's 2 roadblocks, and sometimes you'll get KF-7 or submachine gun guards, and sometimes you get rocket launcher guards, and you have to adjust your lines accordingly. Yeah. And if we can kill a rocket launcher guard, we can use that rocket at the end for a self-damage boost. Just a little bit of help towards the end.
Yeah, you want to be careful not to get hit by rockets too much, because certainly that can kill you even on this agent difficulty.
The double?
The double back boost.
Yeah.
Likewise, how a boost pushes you forward and saves 0.3 seconds, a back boost getting shot in the front pushes you backwards and loses about 0.3 seconds, so you want to avoid those.
Depot a one objective mission, but there is one twist in the level. We do what's called the train shot, which is a 90-degree turn to the right in one shot, clipping through the wall of a train. And there are 2 guards sitting in there, and if you can whiz the bullet past any part of their body, they'll react and open the last 2 doors for you. It's relatively difficult to pull off.
Luke
might have
has
gotten
hit it.
Oh man, that was a good
No,
shot.
not quite. Lockwood had a good shot.
Man, that was a good shot too, yeah.
Laura's really good attempt.
Everybody had good tries.
Everyone missed the train shot.
Everybody missed it.
A good opportunity to gain 3 seconds there that no one quite got, but everyone's on the same page there, so that's fine. Train is
a circus of a level. Many guards in many random locations, a ton of lag. One of the most consistently laggiest levels in the game. There's a bunch of breaks you have to take out, and we go through with the laser. And like Goose quoted earlier, it's just like you try to cut through these guards like a hot knife through butter. The more guards you kill, the less laggy it gets, and it makes the end part of the level much easier. There are 30 or so locks towards the end on the hatchway that all have to be taken out. And the less lag you have to deal with, and the faster the laser shoots, the more time you gain.
Train is almost tidal the way it just moves in and out. You can gain so much time in one car and then lose it all back in the next one. Luke with a very clean train, though. You see the other 3 are all in the same room here. And you do not want to miss this shot on Ormov at the end of the level. That will fail and will be the death. Everyone's hit Ormov successfully. Now it's time to do the locks and get out of this room. Those locks are very, very tiny, and we can all tell you how many times we've missed locks here.
Luke with a pretty sizable lead right now.
Luke moving on to jungle. Boss is only about 12 seconds behind now, but you can see the damage Luke has done on train. He has really extended his lead here, and he'll be looking to keep it up through jungle.
Control, man.
And Lockwood is there we go.
Jungle involves throwing mines at drone guns, and we have to use audio cues. If you can't hear it, the screen will shake accordingly to give away whether or not that drone blew up. Objective B is a boss fight, and Xenia moves around kind of randomly, and you have to really anticipate her next move. She doesn't take a whole lot of damage, luckily on Agent, so it's not a big deal, but it can really screw up your level here if you're not careful.
Yeah, and jungle can spell disaster. Those mine throws on the drones are very precise, and you do take a lot of damage throughout the level, so we'll see Luke here, just
Luke
5 shots.
With a great
amazing
Xenia.
That was
very good.
Boss taking a lot of damage there.
Extremely clean jungle from Luke.
You want to see Objective A completed, come up on the screens. Luke's just came up and he was all moving on to cradle. Control.
Great jungle.
Boss gets Objective A and so does Wotus. They're both moving on.
Control, the beginning of this, there's 6 guards. You have to take them all out and their bodies have to fade away before Natalia moves on to her next sequence. You could get trolled with an extended choking death or a middle body death. Luckily, Luke didn't have any of that. Yeah,
there are about 17 death animations for guards in GoldenEye, and about 2 of them would cost about 10 or more seconds. But Luke has avoided that.
A little bit of a longer death for Wotus on his last guard.
Generally, if you aim more towards the body of the guards, you can sort of avoid getting those deaths.
Boss and Wotus within a second of each other.
Yeah. And you'll see again Luke making use of slapping. Slapping is a really good method when we need to time something. And why Luke was looking down there was sort of to unload Natalia to make her animation more consistent and really optimize her opening that door for you really well. And you'll see the rest of the guys make use of this slapping method here. And Luke is going to blow himself up through this glass.
Excellent execution of the glass.
Seconds. Really well done. Avoided taking damage. You don't want to take too much damage there.
It's a little bit of downtime here, but when you have to lure Natalia from her other computer to her next station, there's a bit of downtime. What you're going to see is clipping. Luke's going to throw a mine, look away. The rest of the room unloads. He detonates the mine at an appropriate spot. The mainframe in there, if executed correctly, will blow up, so you don't have to visit that room later.
Yeah, if we see Objective C completed here on Luke's screen, that's pretty nice.
Okay, looks like he missed that mine throw in the drone room.
quite.
You'll have to visit that later, but it's not a big deal.
Wars attempts the same throw here. It actually will save about 3 seconds if any of them can get objective C completed to come up early.
Okay, Wotus with C on screen.
With C up on early. Nice trick. Well done.
It's good. And this is a 2-minute and 10-second sequence here of protecting Natalia from guards. And Goose will explain the 2 different guards that can attack you here.
Yeah, so basically there are 4 guards that are always spawning endlessly through the level. 2 of them have hats, and 2 of them don't. The 2 with hats, they go after you. They try to kill Bond. The 2 without try to kill Natalia. Now, it happens where all 4 spawn at the same time, and like 2 are coming down the stairs and 2 come at the glass, and there's not much you can do to prevent that from happening. But one thing you can do is sort of timing when and where you kill the guards. If you kill all 4 at the same time, then all 4 are going to spawn at the same time, and that'll increase the chances of them coming to the control room at the same time, which is pretty poor. You want to try to spread out the kills. You have lots of health, so you can sort of let the hatted guards go after you and take some damage in order to do that.
And if you look on Woda's screen here, he's got a couple of glass panes that have exploded already, thus increasing the visibility of the guards if they spawn down there.
Now this is a 2-minute, 10-second sequence here. We've tried for almost 20 years to break the sequence, and we've been unable to. If you are a TASer or a game hacker and you want to have your try at cutting out this sequence, we would absolutely love that, so give it a shot. There's nothing to do to get around waiting for Natalia to just hack into the computer, and you gotta be here protecting her to do that.
Looks like the protect sequence is complete for Luke, opening the next door for Natalia so she doesn't get stuck on anything. It is possible to have her warp through this part of the level, but we don't risk it.
Ooh, Luke, I don't love Luke's leave here. The drone gun is feeding him some damage. Wotus has now completed objective B, and so has Boss. Boss and Wotus really, really close. You can't leave the level until you see objective A completed come up on screen. That's Natalia escaping back to her safe point. So you might see some waiting at the end here.
Luke with A on screen. We're good.
In for Caverns.
Dangerous part of the level on Caverns here is the very, very beginning. There's 4 guards who have great reactions and great accuracy, and they could. And you have to beat Trevelyan out here. If you watch Luke's screen, he beats him out cleanly, so that's good. When Trevelyan passes through those doors, he closes them behind him. Nice.
Boss and Wotus
Just within frames of each other.
Yeah.
Looks like Boss is going to make it through no problem. So with
both
Wotus,
get through Caverns fine. Luke is in the lead. There's only Cradle remaining, but Cradle really can lose a lot of time. You know, you're hoping to get about a 40-second time, but it's not unfathomable that you can lose a minute or more on Cradle. So these guys are not out of it yet.
We'll explain it now with a bit of downtime, but for Cradle, there's 3 different endings. You can kill Trevelyan on the ramp, and he'll die right at the end, and that's the best case scenario, and you just simply go to the end and the level fades out. You could do enough damage with him to cause the final fight where he goes to the end with you. It's roughly a 10-second time loss or so. The worst case scenario is hitting him anywhere else, which doesn't get him in the damage zone.